welcome to the channel. I hope you get something out of it. Yo, Savage Psychotherapist. There's a lot out there already in the landscape about mental health topics, but I'm going to bring a little bit of a different perspective to a lot of things. Probably some unpopular opinions, which is part of the reason why I chose the name Savage Psychotherapist to begin with. There's a lot out there, but I hope to offer a little bit of a different take on things, and I hope to kind of balance out some of the bad ideas that I think are floating out around there. I'll further describe that as unhelpful and unhealthy ideas. Savage Psychotherapist. Okay, so I picked the word savage because there's a strength and a fierceness connotation to the word savage. There's also kind of a warrior-esque mindset that's associated with that word. So I picked that because the mentality and the attitudes and the perspectives that I adopt when it comes to approaching mental health issues take on a warrior, type of mindset approach. Another synonym of the word savage is uncontrolled. And I've never had much problem in my life going against the grain with some things, speaking unpopular opinions as long as they're well thought out. Going a different direction than the school of fish tend to go when it comes to something. I have no problem standing out and being criticized by other people for just not kind of following along with what everybody else seems to be saying and seems to be doing. Another reason is that there's brutality is associated with the word savage. In my case, I want to look square into the eye of brutal truth and reality. I don't want to escape or avoid from it. I don't want it in my blind spot. I don't want to be shielded or protected from the truth and from brutal facts and brutal reality. Another reason why I choose the word savage psychotherapist is because it's a branding idea. I want to represent my philosophy of life, which is, generally speaking, usually mental health issues that people face are easier to deal with if people can become as strong and powerful and formidable as an individual person as they possibly can. So to become a savage of one's own life, that doesn't necessarily mean aggressive or hostile or violent. It just means to become a powerful, fierce person who is executing some autonomy over their life despite the things kind of going on around them. So that's a good way to deal with problems in life, is to become as strong and capable as you possibly can be, and to develop your capacity to withstand the elements of the world psychologically, emotionally. The channel's not meant for everybody, and that's okay. There's going to be people who may or may not resonate very well with some of the opinions that I have, and that's totally fine. I think one of the things that I should probably mention up front is that I'm really targeting adult people. I'm not targeting children. I'm not looking at adolescents. Kids and teenagers and young people can definitely watch the stuff that I put out. That's not a problem. But when I talk about some of the ownership and the responsibility and things like that people should seize hold of, and some of those ideas that I'm going to represent, I'm probably not aiming that very much at children at all, or teenagers, or people that don't have autonomy over their life, right? So I just want that to be kind of a clear point. Chances are, if you have a phone or a device, you're connected to the internet, and you're using YouTube, you should, in my opinion, be a relatively autonomous adult person. If you're watching this because you're 12 years old and your parents got you a phone, then I can't do anything about that. I'm going to make the assumption that that's not you. But if it is, I'm not aiming these things towards kids and and teenagers. It's for adult people. I am a licensed mental health provider. I'm a licensed clinical social worker. All of my experiences with working with adults and with the military population. So that's kind of where my expertise or my experience, I guess, lies. I hate the word expertise, and that'll be a topic for another video because I got some ideas about all the experts out there and the gurus. But so anyway. I'm a former infantryman in the Army, so that's probably another reason why I have this kind of brand. I don't know how many other mental health therapists that there are out there that are former infantrymen, but I'm one. So that's another reason why I kind of like stand on that kind of a platform. With all of that kind of stuff said, I will say that like other mental health professionals and all the people that are out there on TikTok and social media and YouTube and whatnot who are also like, doctors and psychologists and therapists and things like that. The same kind of thing will hold true for this channel too, right? So I'm talking about things that are just my opinion, right? And some of my opinions might be unpopular, and that's kind of the point, right? And some of the things I say probably aren't going to be terribly, unique. I'm going to put my own perspective on things as much as I possibly can. But I'm not representing anybody that I might work for, any companies that I might work for. I'm not speaking on behalf of any board or entity or agency or licensing body or state regulatory commissions or any of that stuff. These are just going to be my opinions, and I'm not going to be engaging in any kind of treatment-oriented stuff whenever I'm doing these videos, right? And I'm going to have that probably stated in the notes on just about any video that I ever put out. But I want to make that clear. This stuff is just going to be my opinion. So anyways, and really at the end of the day, the heart of this is just my desire to send my ideas and my opinions out into the universe because I think there might be some value. I think I have a voice and it should be heard by people. Not to say that I'm like self-important or anything, but I see a lot of bad ideas out there. I kind of want to put something out there to kind of balance that, right? So to use a Star Wars analogy, if the field of psychology and therapy is like the force, I want to bring some balance to the force. And when I stand up in opposition against these things, it's not because I have any interest in censoring things or, let's cancel this idea, right? I'm not going to use any examples now because then I'll rob from future videos. But I'm not interested in censoring anything or shutting anything else down. Good ideas should be able to stand on their own, like Chase Hughes talks about. And, when it comes to if any time somebody's trying to silence something or shut it down, or get it canceled, it's probably because it's a good idea or it has some merit to it, and there are people that have opposing narratives that would like to see it go away. Because I'm talking about human behavior and I'm talking about mental health topics for the most part, anyone could associate like political ideas or political topics with that kind of content, right? My intent is to avoid political discourse, banter, argument, debate with a 10-foot pole with a bayonet attached to the end. I'm also not doing treatment and comments. If for some reason my ideas seem to resonate with certain people and they're like, dude, you should start like an online coaching thing. Okay, I'll explore those ideas, but I'm not doing treatment and comments. This stuff is just my opinion. It's not like advice, right? So if it's useful to somebody, good. But it's also, if it doesn't work very well or it backfires, no. Don't point the finger here because you still made the choice to do the thing. And you maybe didn't interpret it correctly to begin with, or you executed it poorly. So I'm not taking any responsibility for any of that. So just straight up being real with you. I'm I'm not going to engage in any arguments or debates. I got a lot of hobbies. I got a lot of things to do. I got to work out on the daily. I got to do other training. I got to do stuff. I got a full-time job. I got a wife. I got a dog that you maybe heard snort in the other room just now. For my therapy colleagues out there, I meet criteria 6 for schizoid personality disorder. So anyway, I am going to try to put out maybe some short form content, medium form content, maybe things about this length from time to time. But that's kind of going to be the goal, and it's all meant to help people and kind of establish my way of seeing things, and just so I can put it out in the universe. Everybody's wanting to put their thing out in the universe. I want to put things out there in the universe, right? I might even do some series here and there. I have a good idea for one already right now. But anyway, so welcome to the channel. I hope you get something out of it, and hope to see you in the comments or in the likes or in the subscriptions. Savage Psychotherapist out.